Hi everyone, welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. My name is Nick and I'm helping job candidates just like yourself land that dream job in medical sales. Now lately I've had a lot of questions around what additional certifications or training do I need to get a job in medical sales. So if you want to know my insights and some perspective on whether or not you should sign up for something like Medical Sales College or the National Association of Pharmaceutical Sales Rep test, stick around, you won't want to miss this. If you want to stay up to date with the latest insights and strategies on how to land a job in medical sales, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, hit that like button and share with your friends as well. Now, I'm going to talk about two different programs that are available online, and actually Medical Sales College is also offered in person. They do some in-person training. I know right now with COVID-19 that they're doing some hybrid courses, so I'll talk more about that in a second. The first one I'll talk about though is the CNPR class. It's the Certified National Pharmaceutical Representative Program. Now, this one's offered all online. You can take this course at your pace, and a lot of people who want to get into pharma sales think it's a great way to increase their knowledge, find just some opportunity to put this on their resume. And I want to tell you, after being in pharmaceutical sales for about 8 years, and now in medical devices, I can say I've never hired somebody who had this CNPR certification. Now, there's a couple reasons why. First of all, when you get hired with any pharmaceutical company or any medical device company, the first thing they're going to do is put you through training, right? So for you to come to the program with any outside training really isn't valuable for you or for the organization, because we're going to have you do our own specific training anyway. That's regardless of the information or knowledge that you have. So even if you come to the program with a biology degree or a master's degree or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're going to put you through the same training anyway as any new hire with any other kind of experience. So that's the first thing. The other thing is it's a great way for them to make some money, right? It's a revenue generator for them, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee you anything. So the only thing that will really help you landing a job in pharmaceutical sales, aside from networking and making connections with people through LinkedIn who are in the industry, is really just some good old-fashioned outside sales. Any kind of B2B sales, any place where you're interacting with customers and you have a quota or you have a territory to manage. Really, that's the best way for you to gain the skills that you need that you can then transfer into a pharmaceutical sales role, okay? So that's the first one, the CNPR program. Again, I don't recommend it. I don't think that it's something that you need to put on your resume in order to get a job, unless for some reason you live in a state where they say everybody needs to go through this program. I have not run into that yet, but you never know. Times are changing. There could be some states that mandate this. But from what I understand, I live in Illinois now. I used to work in Texas. None of that was necessary. None of it was mandatory. And I've never heard from another hiring manager that said, boy, I really want to hire somebody who has that CNPR certification. They make the best sales reps. Okay, so that's the first one, the CNPR program. Again, if you have any questions, before you sign up for a program like that, reach out to somebody like myself, reach out to somebody else on LinkedIn who's been a hiring manager. Definitely look at your state specifically. If there's a mandate for it, then of course you're going to have to go through it. But if that's the case and you work for a company that employs pharmaceutical sales representatives, there's a good chance that they're going to pay for it once you get hired and put you through that program anyway. So keep that in mind. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to schedule a call with me. I'll leave the contact information in the notes below. I'll be happy to walk you through what I think is important for you to do before you start applying or interviewing for these jobs, okay? Now, the second program I want to talk to you about right now is the Medical Sales College. Now, this one is a lot more in-depth and provides a lot more information to their students. First of all, right now I know they're doing more of an online or hybrid course where you're doing a lot of the work virtually, which is tough, right? If you're going to be in the operating room or you're selling a device that surgeons use, it's hard to really fully grasp what's happening if you're doing it virtually. Now, if you're live and in person, I think there's probably a lot more to this hands-on experience training that you're going to get from them. And I do understand, again, I've talked to quite a few people who have gone through this program before. I do understand that once you pay your fee, if let's say you go through their orthopedic program and then you end up getting a job in spine, for example, that you can go back and do some of their training. If you're like in the interview process and you're getting ready to get hired and you want to have some of that information to talk to you during the interview, you can go back and do some of the coursework in their spine program. Now, again, I heard that from one of their current graduates who's looking for a job right now. So you might want to verify that. But if that's the case, that obviously is a huge perk to the program. But again, this is one of those programs where if you get hired by a medical device company, they're going to put you through training. They have to. It's a liability of theirs to make sure that you are in the field with their customers, with doctors who are impacting patients' lives every day, that you're adequately trained in the device that you're selling. So the program, this one's more expensive. Now, I do believe the virtual programs that we're offering were about $6,000. And then if you're going live, it can be anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 and higher, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a lot of information on that website. Again, Medical Sales College. Now, they do have a pretty strong faculty there. These are people who have been in the medical device industry for a long time. So the amount of information you're getting is valuable, right? It's not like it's just an online course that you're having to just kind of read books by yourself, which is more like what the CNPR is. Medical Sales College does have industry veterans teaching you the information. And the other part that they talk about is a 94% placement rate for graduates. Now, again, I've talked to people from that program and they don't really believe that that's the current case, especially right now with COVID-19. There's been a lot of fluctuations in the way the market is. There's a lot of qualified candidates that are in the job market fighting for the same jobs that, people with no experience are going after. And so the Medical Sales College, a lot of those graduates are either fresh out of college and they, want to take the jump into medical device sales, or they're in a transition, right, from one career to another, but they don't necessarily have a lot of the B2B sales experience that, traditional medical device companies look for. So again, this is one of those situations where, if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about it, before you make a big investment like that, I mean, you're talking about, especially if you just graduated from college, maybe you spent $50, $60, $100,000 in your undergrad program and you don't have any sales experience or you don't have those selling skills yet. Before you make another investment that's $6,000 to $12,000, reach out to people in the industry who can provide you some additional insight and information on this. It's good to get a perspective of somebody who's non-biased, right? Obviously, if you call Medical Sales College, they're going to give you all the reasons why you should join their program. And again, I outlined quite a few. I mean, they seem to have a reputable program and they have good educational or instructors that are knowledgeable on the industry. But again, is it worth $6,000 to $10,000 versus if you just start networking and applying, maybe you get a little bit of that B2B skills or outside sales skills as you graduate from college, and then you transition into medical sales, you'll be a much better, well-rounded salesperson, and then you won't have spent, an extra $6,000 to $10,000 of your money just to break into the medical device industry. This is experience, again, that you'll get when you get hired. Any of these companies will put you through training of the devices. They'll put you through a selling model as well. So again, before you make that investment, if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about it, reach out to myself. Again, I'll put my contact information in the notes. Reach out to anybody who's in the industry, maybe in your state, in your geography, somebody that you can touch base with to find out if it's important for you to get this training before you get hired, or if they feel like, you've got a great skill set, you've got a great attitude, you've got great energy. Let's just get you networking and interviewing and see what happens without it. I think there's really a lot to be said for being able to give it a good go through good networking and good interviewing before you spend that extra money. But again, if it makes sense to you and you feel like it's the right way to go, just talk to somebody before you do it who's not part of Medical Sales College. Talk to somebody in the industry who can provide you some insight. If you go through LinkedIn and scroll through there and you look at the people who have been or who in the roles that you want, whether you're in pharmaceutical sales or medical device sales, look how many of those people have those certifications or have that additional education, and see if they have it. If they don't have it, more often than not, there's a good chance that you probably don't need that certification or additional training to get yourself into one of those job opportunities. Again, I've been in medical sales since 2010. I've got just a general bachelor's degree in psychology. I've got a graduate degree in psychology. I don't have anything in biology. I never went through any additional training, but I had a lot of sales experience, right? I had about 6 years of sales experience before I got into medical sales, and that really helped me more than anything. And as a hiring manager, that's what I look for. I look for people with selling skills who understand how to run a territory, how to communicate with a customer, have a lot of heart and passion and ambition, and want to grow their business and do well. That's what I look for. I don't necessarily look for any additional training that they may have been through. I hope this information was helpful. There's a lot of information online, and sometimes it's difficult to really figure out what is important for you to follow, what's not important for you to follow. Take it from somebody who's been in the industry for 10 years. If you've already finished your undergrad degree, you have plenty of education already to be able to make your way into pharmaceutical sales or medical device sales. The rest of it's really just sweat equity, right? Getting out there, networking, making connections, finding people who could maybe mentor you who are in the industry, and can help you along and find your way into the industry. The last thing you want to do is spend, even if it's $500 all the way up to $12,000 of your hard-earned money and still not have a job to show for it, right? Because at the end of the day, that's the expectation, is that you're going to go through this program, get this additional training, and then you'll get a job. But there's a lot of opportunities for you to get a job without having to spend that extra money. And again, the training you're going to get from these programs, 99% of the time you're going to get it in the job that you get hired for anyway. So again, I hope that was helpful. My contact information is down below. Feel free to schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me if you have any questions about medical sales, pharmaceutical, or med device. I'd love to help you out. I offer a free career mapping session so we can take a look at where you're at today, make sure you're on the right path to get you to where you want to be. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks. I'll see you in the field.